that was it. Basically, it was like the most space they could make with the least money and wide open like a desert, so there was nowhere anyone could hide. There was this one place, though. It was this fire escape kind of thing, which ran down the side of the building in square spirals. And under the last run of steps, there was like a well, you could call it. If you followed it all the way down, it led to a locked metal door in some basement thing where the caretaker probably wanked himself off or whatever. That place. It was what we called the Spit. It was the one place you did not ever want to be. Anyway, you move ends, and it's like you move into a different country. I moved and it was like I was in some sort of war zone. In my first school, it was maybe 50% black. But this place, though, right, it was like I moved into B&P Central. There was only like 8 or 9 non-whites in the whole school. It was like my eyes had suddenly gone from colour to black and white. And the kids, man, there was some proper racist shit going on down there. Trust me, sorry, Judge, I know what you said before about the swearing and all that, but it was nigger this, coon that, black bastard that, whatever though. I mean, that was just what it was. Some shit you just got to live with. I learned to tune it out as much as I could. But I won't lie to you. There was times when I just had to bust a few faces. There's only a certain amount a person can take before he snaps. I didn't like to fight back all that much. Because apart from anything else, it made me feel like every black dude who ever fought Rocky in them films. Everyone was hoping that I would get my head kicked in. Mainly I just starred my way through as much of the shit I could. If I could avoid the front up, I would. But you gotta remember, I was prettier than most of them boys, so I had a lot more to lose, innit? Eventually though, after a few fights where I did a bit of damage, most people knew to leave me alone. People don't just want to pick fights they can win. They want to pick fights they can win easily. And if that's your thing, then it ain't me you're looking for. Anyway, there was this one boy, Kurt, one of the only other black boys at the school. He was this big, fat, dopey kind of kid. He was like the type of boy you could say anything to and he would just give you this drooly grin. It didn't matter what you said to him, and it didn't matter that the boy, even at this age, was the size of a house. He just smiled straight at you. I don't mean you could just say anything to him like call him a fat cunt. Sorry, Judge. I mean, you could say his mum did tricks for a quid and he just let it go. He's one of them peaceful type of guys. But that was the problem. You let someone take the piss a bit, then you may as well let him take a piss all over you. Anyway, these are just the lessons. It's kind of like being in prison, I guess. If you show even a bit of weakness, you'll get taken apart. So you can imagine the shit Kurt had to deal with. To me, it looked like bad luck was going to follow Kurt round for life. He wasn't just oversized and over-friendly. He was also a bit mixed up. His mum was a drug addict or an alcoholic or something, and although we didn't know at the time, she probably was hooking on the quiet. There were days when Kurt would come into school with bruises on his face. You couldn't really see them that easy on him because he was so dark, but I could see them. I could always see them. On them days, he wouldn't smile as much. He would just have this look, like he was guilty or something. He wouldn't want to talk so much. He got this look on his face that even if you were a bit of an idiot, you wouldn't want to take the piss out of him much on them days. It was a bit too harsh to dark him like that. But those boys at our school didn't care about our kids' home life. I'm not saying they didn't have their own shit to deal with. No doubt they did. But that somehow didn't make them go any easier on him. I used to watch them when they went for him. Some little stick boy half his size would just walk up to him and call him a nigger, and Kurt would just put his head down. Then the kid might jump up and slap him across the face. Still, Kurt would do nothing. There'd be all these kids laughing and jeering at him, and I'd just be standing there thinking, come on, man. You're twice the size of these fools. Fuck them up proper. But he never did. He just let it slide. It seemed like to me they were just trying to get him to react. Like they knew deep down that he could kill them in a second if he was pushed hard enough, but it was like they couldn't help themselves. They wanted to see the Hulk breaking out of him. Anyway, they tried everything. They swore at him, they threw shit at him, they robbed him. Fucking whatever you could think of to do to a boy, they did to him. Once they even chucked him into the spit and tore all his clothes off him. Then when he was there crying in his pants, 100 boys stood at the top of the well and spat fat green gobs down all over him. Some kid even tried pissing on him, but he couldn't get much on him. Eventually, the teachers came out and Kurt just wiped himself down, put his clothes back on and just carried on like nothing had happened. Yeah, he was crying a bit and whatever, but he basically did nothing. I kind of like Kurt, man. In fact, he later became my best friend. You could even say my only real friend. But back then, I didn't know him all that well. He didn't even stay at the school long because one day his mum was moved up to some place.